welcome to another banging episode of Borderless Mentality. Right? We're promoting the African look, I hope you're liking the hair, the Afro look coming in. Like I keep saying, we might find a new name for the channel because we think Afro Gang might just sound like a better name, you know what I mean? It's more catchy, more trendier. And then we might just have more trendier topics to talk about. Try and capture the younger audience with the Afro look and the Afro Gang and the Afrocentric ways of we doing things over here. But anyway, welcome guys, welcome. Today I want to talk about something interesting. I want to talk about a simple topic that actually gets me, I don't know, under the skin, gets my skin crawling. And the topic is the United States of America. I don't understand America. Really, I don't. I don't understand the politics of America. I don't understand the policies of America, especially the foreign policies. I just don't get it. Now look at this. Russia and Ukraine used to be one country. Vladimir Putin, or Putin as they call him, sees Ukraine as part of Russia. Because why? They were once Russians. They are all Soviets. They are all Baltic. So, rightfully so, there used to be one massive country, and because of disagreements politically, they split. Now, just because you don't agree politically doesn't mean you are no longer the same person or the same people. Let's take India and Pakistan, for example. Pakistanis are Indians, and because of politics, they are now enemies. They're all rivalries. But the funny thing is, they don't change their culture. They speak the exact same languages, cook the exact same foods, customs, traditions. Everything is the exact same. If you go to Pakistan, it's like you are in India. And if you go to India, vice versa, it's like you're in Pakistan. The exact same people. The exact same things. They are one. Same like China and Taiwan. During the Chinese Civil War, right? Mao Zedong fought the Kuomintang, right? The Kuomintang, the KMT, right? There's not two people fighting politically in China. Where did the KMT run to? They ran to an island, which belonged to China. They ran off to the island and decided to isolate themselves over there because they're going to be persecuted by Mao, right? The island they ran to belonged to China. China never thought one day these people were going to declare an independence. They just thought, well, they're running over there and they're not going to meddle in politics anymore. The water is obviously the sea is going to divide us and they're just going to stick to themselves over there and we're going to manage the whole situation as per normal. They didn't think it was going to escalate into a country, right? Same as North Korea. Same exact people, same food, same tradition. Everything is the exact same. But because of politics, they were divided. Now they see themselves as two different people. But they're not. How? Right? Now, why am I saying all this? I don't understand America. America meddles in almost every country that has been divided and conquered, or divided and ruled, or divided whatever you want to call it. Right? America's meddling in the Korean Peninsula. America's meddling in the Chinese-Taiwan conflict. America's meddling in the Russian-Ukraine conflict, right? But then, America is forgetting something. America and Puerto Rico have an issue that no one seems to talk about because of a superpower. Is that so? America and Hawaii having an issue. No one is talking about that now, are we? No, we're not. So, where, who, how does one country get to determine the fate of other countries, and yet other countries and or organizations are not even allowed to determine the fate of said country? Now that is my problem I'm having with the United States of America, playing the role of the world's policeman. Now, if America was fair in everything that they did, to be honest, if America was fair, if America said, right, you are right, you are wrong, let's look at it on a case-by-case basis, right? And then look at each case on merit, right? And then we determine who's right, who's wrong. I would be happy with that. Totally happy with that. In fact, I wouldn't even argue with America if it was on a merit basis, right? But it's because it's a one-sided affair. Because America is looking at what in it for them and what they stand to gain. So America is willing to support the wrong person as long as that wrong person or that wrong country or that wrong party is going to bring them something that they are going to benefit from, right? So, same as the Israeli-Palestinian war. That's a totally different case because the Palestinians and the Israelis are not one people. You know, Palestine always had Israelites, always had Jews, right? It always had Jewish people, different religious groups, right? So there's Palestinian Jews, there's Palestinian Christians, Palestinian Muslims, Palestinian Orthodox, Russian, whatever. Just as in any other normal country, Palestine had all that, right? What happened after World War II? The Jews that were kicked out of Europe, especially the ones that came from Hungary and Russia, I think, Russia and Hungary, they are the ones that first went to Israel and then took over plots of land, and then strengthened numbers, and then influx of the Jewish people came in, right? But then it wasn't all Jews. So I don't want to make it sound like all Jewish people are bad and like all Jewish people, all Jews support what the state of Israel is doing. It's the ones that believe in the Zionist theory that are doing all the nonsense that we see going on in Palestine, right? America supports that, irrespective of who's right and who's wrong. They just support Israel no matter what, because they have something to gain by supporting Israel in the Middle East, giving them a foothold or a base in the Middle East where they can launch attacks from and where they can meddle and do. You know what I'm saying? So America, I don't know why America even exists. I can't wait for a country like China, like Donald Trump would say, China, we take over and then become the world's next best superpower. It's not like China is a squeaky clean country either. I mean, China has a human rights record. Look at what China is doing to the, what are they called? Everyone says Uyghur. It's not Uyghur. They're Uyghurs. Uyghur. I think it's Uyghur. Okay, anyway, what we call the Uyghurs. But it's the Uyghurs. I think it's a Uyghur. Oh, I must get that word right. Anyway, so look what China is doing to them. And yet you can actually see for the fact that these people are not Chinese. These people are not Chinese by any way, shape, or form. Just their look alone is not Chinese. You can see these people are from like a Turkish background. You can see even the so-called Xinjiang province that's in dispute. You can see that it was called East Turkestan or East Turkestan or something like that. They have their own flag. They have their own language, their own customs, their own culture, their own religion. And the Han Chinese, Xi Jinping and company, the CCP, the Communist Party of China, they just don't want to see anything different in China. They want everything to look, feel, be Chinese. They even destroyed mosques in China and rebuilt them to suit the Chinese-style mosques. Now, there's no such a thing as a Chinese-style mosque. All mosques in the world look the same, dome-shaped and everything. But the ones in China, no. They have to have a Chinese look and feel to them. So they knocked down the first original mosques and then they built Chinese-looking mosques. Sorry, just scratching my back, but itchy here. So I think that's totally unfair on the part of the Chinese government to do that, right? Now, that issue we'll have to address another time and another day. All right. Now, let's get back to the issue at hand. China needs to become the world's next best superpower. Why? Because we need someone to dethrone America and change the world's course that America has put this world on. The Americans have destroyed the world to a point where even they have nothing more to destroy. Right? So now we need a new superpower. So that is why I'm backing China in this. But in backing China doesn't mean that I'm backing China in the case against the Uyghurs. Right? Because the Uyghurs are being almost exterminated, so to speak, by the Chinese people. And that is totally wrong. We cannot back that up. So even though South Africa is a BRICS member, and China is the big brother in the BRICS household, we need to bring China to order when it comes to the Uyghurs. But the exact problem is that you cannot exactly tell the big brother what to do when the big brother is the one hand that is feeding you. Now, you don't want to lose out on all the food you're getting because of you trying to reprimand your big brother. So the sad thing is that China's getting away with these atrocities against the Uyghurs simply because of the aid and the development that they're giving around Africa and the world, right? So you can't really speak bad about that because then it will stop. But then you also don't want to go back to your former colonial masters because then it will look like you're just really desperate now, isn't it? So that's another case to look at. So yeah, so the American story for me is a real bad thing because now that the world runs on the American dollar, America uses that to their advantage. So they can just, what's the word? What's the word I'm looking for? It's the word that where they can just, freeze a country's assets. They can, there's a word they use, starts with the C. Where they use the currency to control the world, and then they can just, or what's that word now? They're doing it to Zimbabwe, they're doing it to Cuba, they're doing it. There's a word for it. There's a word, I can't remember the word now. The word escaped my mind. But anyway, they use that to their advantage. They use that as leverage where they can just sideline countries out of the financial global system because they control SWIFT, they control that, and everything is in the US dollar. So imagine if everything changes into the yuan or into the BRICS currency, then America's stranglehold on each and every country does not exist. And that is what America is fighting hard against, trying to bring in other currencies. And that is the reason why they killed Gaddafi, because he wanted to bring in an African currency. Do you see what I mean? And that's the reason why I hate America, trying to be the world's policeman. Nobody can tell America what to do. No one can blame America for anything. No one can dare point a finger at America. And yet America has publicly and secretly, and it's been documented, that America has had its hand in almost every disastrous pie that has happened in this world. If they didn't have their hand in it, they sure did have some sort of an accomplice in it that they were backing. So, having said that, America needs to step down as the world's policeman and become normal citizens like the rest of us. Let me know what you think about America in the comment section below. Holla!